No, I'm telling you, it's physically impossible to pee while you're upside down. What do you not understand about this?
Alright, look, shut up. I've done it before, and I'll tell you, I'll do it again, on air,
It is a simple concept of physics, okay? I don't get... Well, how are you so dense? Hello, and welcome to the Buffalo Bill Show. Now, today's newscast is very important. We're going to be talking about the French and Indian War. But first, we need to go to our champs manager, Brandon.
Okay, so your conversation level is going to be 2. That means inside voices, no yelling. If you need help, you should raise your hand. The activity level should be creating a newscast for the French and Indian War. The movement level should be staying in your seat. And if you follow these steps, then you will achieve success.
The French and Indian War in North America was only a small part of a much larger conflict, known in Europe as the 7 Years' War. It was one of the longest, most widespread, and most important wars in our history. Ministers in this country, where every part of the world affects us in some way or another, should consider the whole globe. The Duke of Newcastle wrote in Britain in 1758, reflecting the international achievements and war aims of the British in the mid-18th century. The French and Indian War lasted nearly 9 years, and it proceeded in 3 distinct phases. The first of these phases lasted from the Fort Necessity debacle in 1754 until the expansion of the war to Europe in 1756. It was primarily a local North American conflict, which the English colonists managed largely on their own. The British provided modest assistance during this period, but they provided it so ineptly that it had little impact on the struggle. The British fleet failed to prevent the landing of large French reinforcements in Canada, and the newly appointed Commander-in-Chief of the British Army in America, General Edward Braddock, failed miserably in a major effort in the summer of 1755 to retake the crucial site at the forks of the Ohio River where Washington had lost the battle at Fort Necessity. Now, we actually have a very special guest in the studio today. Everyone, please welcome King James. Okay, Mr. James.
Yes.
Mr. James. So, the French and Indian War is over, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
Well, I think it was pretty good. So we got some land from the Indian French. Yeah, from the French Indian.
All right. So, Mr. James, if I may I call you Mr. James?
No, you have to call me,
Mr. James, please. I'm speaking. Please. Please. Yeah, was it really that good? I mean, like, a lot of people died.
Well, so the monies, I mean the colonies, so they were having some.
And you never really liked them.
No,
Since they released their first diss track, you guys have had sort of a famous. Like,
no,
feud,
so
you know what
I
mean?
released my first diss track, and then
It's quite popular.
made an apology video.
Okay.
With
Now, Mr. James. Okay, if you let's get. Can I give you a hypothetical? Do you like hypotheticals?
no.
Okay, so if you could go back in time, right? And you were back. You were King James from like a few years ago, right?
Oh.
Would you still do the war?
Well, if I was King James from a few years ago, I would.
Right.
Woo! Let's hear it for King James, everybody. That's King James.
Right. Do you have a guest?
Maybe let me check.
No. Alright. Brad Pitt.
Yes.
Hang on a sec. Alright, so this was our studio's entire budget. So there's Indian people like here, right? Right? Can you get that camera? There's Indian people here, right? Right? Is that correct?
Yeah,
Is
wait, no, wait, you got it wrong.
No.
Indians live here. Right here.
Okay.
Right?
So they don't live in this one.
No. So
They live in
the Indians live here.
Come on. You guys
Our
can-
ruthless actually wait, I think that Indians are like pretty cool guys.
Where's Tommy? Yo, what's up? It's Bernanke. So here's the thing, right? William Pitt was basically the British Secretary of State who was responsible for the colonies. George appointed him. He really liked the guy. During Pitt's whole reign, you could say George III was actually really popular. I don't know if that was due to Pitt himself or, other circumstances, but regardless, people were liking him. He kept doing what he was doing, right? It was all gravy. And we're here live, visiting the grave of the one and only William Braddock, war hero, killed a lot of Indians. Alright, Mr. Braddock, can you make a comment on the French and Indian War, please? Okay, thank you. That's an incredibly insightful response. So, Braddock, right? He was appointed to command the troops against the French in America. He landed in a colony of Virginia in 1755, and right off the bat, he essentially organized a ton of attacks. The most famous one was in Ohio. Most famous, actually, because he failed pretty horribly. He really screwed up, and he was beaten badly.
Jacob's dog wants to eat my face.
So, we got an interview with a real Indian tonight, SCOTTY.
Yes, I am SCOTTY. I am a real Indian.
You're a real Indian.
Yes, I am a real Native American. That is disrespectful to my people.
So I got some questions for you.
Shut up, white man. Give me that neck, boy.
As you can
Why are
see,
you doing this?
the violent colonists are ravaging native populations. You heard it here first, folks.
What?
We got the scoop.
What?
We got the scoop.
What?
Where is my
Put them in reservations.
Where is my family?
So, we got some reenactments. We didn't actually get footage of the French-Indian War, obviously. But we as a team, in my opinion, have produced some great representations of what could have most likely, probably, definitely happened. Those are all the tapes. So I'm back from my time in the war. I was serving as a war correspondent. Now, let's talk about the French and Indian War. A lot of people died. It is true that the effects of this will be felt for years because it is known that the Iroquois actually founded the principles of modern democracy. Is that correct, soldier?
Yes, that's good.
Now, it is very certain that this noble tribe has been almost completely exterminated and relegated to reservations. This will likely decimate their entire peoples.